Hey everybody, Dr. Diane Mueller here. In this video, we're going to talk about arousal and why the speed for arousal is so different than from the feminine and masculine. We're going to talk about the root causes and why this is, as well as what you can do about it. So stay tuned till the end to know actionable steps of how you can work with these different types of arousal speeds. I'm the Libido Doc. I have an online platform where we talk about all things libido, education, creating community, really beginning to normalize these topics that frankly should have been normalized a long time ago, because healthy sexuality is part of health in general, right? So when we're talking about really getting our body and brain and our whole system healthy, sex is part of that. But let's talk about arousal in this video. So arousal essentially is going to be different for testosterone and estrogen because of the impact on the body. So hormones and the way blood works in the body are two different reasons why female arousal and male arousal are so distinctly different. So the thing about hormones, we're really looking at hormones, estrogen and testosterone, and their different impacts on the brain. So estrogen has this ability on the brain to make the brain extremely diffusely aware of all the things in the environment. So the female's watching TV and somebody comes and says to her, and says her name, hey, I need your help with this, or can I ask you a question? The female's gonna probably pretty quickly turn her head, look at that person, and her state from the TV is gonna be broken, right? Because she's aware of her environment. That's part of her superpower with estrogen. The male superpower with testosterone is extreme focus. Both of these qualities, like any quality in life, have their parts that are really serve and they help you. And then of course everything, like any quality, has its kind of other side where it can be detrimental, which is why working together is super important. But in testosterone brains, men are super focused. This is why a man watching TV, a woman comes or a person comes and says something to man, and he's probably not going to look. And if he is going to acknowledge, it might be just this quick, yeah, got it, okay. Not even breaking his focus. So you might not even get a acknowledgement at all. And if you do, it's probably just these one or two short words, which can feel really frustrating, but this is the way the brain works. So applying this to sex and to arousal. So when we are actually getting aroused and a man, say, thinks a thought, a sexy thought, or hears something sexy, all of a sudden his erectile tissue responds like that, because he can go super focused into the whole experience of sex and what he wants in that moment. The female brain, if something said sexy to her, what might be happening is my brain might be over this on the work and the job and the task or the kids, on the workout she needs to do, and whatever it is, right? Her brain is probably going to be all over the place, because that's diffuse awareness. The female brain is designed to be very aware of the surroundings at any given time. Because of that, from an arousal standpoint, the female brain needs more and more and more information and more times of bringing her back to, we're in sexy time now. We're in sexy time now. Be present. And as females, this takes an internal commitment to say, if we're noticing, partner's coming on to us, and if we really do want to engage, like sometimes it's like, this is not the time to engage, but if we really want to have a healthy sex life, we definitely want to be engaging a good portion of the time. And if we want to engage, or if we want to, give our partner a little something as far as just a return of that arousal to say yes, even if it's not now, the more we can say, bring our intentionality to, okay, I'm going to put the list aside. I'm going to put the task aside, and I'm going to bring my presence to the feeling, the sensations of the words of my partner. The more we can do that and bring ourselves into the present moment, the more our erectile tissue will respond and we become aroused. For females, it's this almost meditative act of bringing the mind back to the sensations that are happening now, which is why I think sex is such a great way to engage in a meditative type of state for females, especially because there's so much effort in really being able to get aroused and enjoying sex that is about coming back to the moment and only focusing on the moment. Great meditative tool. And beyond that, another component that really makes a difference as far as arousal comes to the fact that our erectile tissue operates differently than men. We have a similar amount of erectile tissue. We have 3 major erectile zones, just like in the masculine as well as in the feminine. So there's similarities, but male erectile tissue is very quick to send blood. The circulatory system in male erectile tissue is hyper-reactive and hyper-responsive. The female circulatory system in the same tissue is not as reactive and responsive. So there's a slower time to impact, right? So due to things like what's happening in the brain, as well as what's happening in the body and the physiology, there's a much slower time to respond. This is one of the reasons why I do get frustrated with some of the porn industry. I'm not saying all porn is bad. There's conscious porn out there, but one of the problems that has been elicited with the porn industry is it's really led to this whole belief that women are supposed to respond like this, just like men. Man gets hard, women gets aroused. And that's just not the reality. So releasing any sort of shame or guilt that you may have if you're a woman listening to this, releasing any shame or guilt of, you know what, this is normal. This is normal that it takes longer. This is normal that you need more foreplay. This is normal that you need more time bringing your consciousness and your brain into the present moment. So important. And with men, we want to educate men, right? Because if they're so used to, hey, their own bodies of think something, get hard, right? If that's their orientation, it really is training and teaching that, hey, as women, our bodies operate different and we need classic more time in order to allow our bodies to have the same level of arousal. Oftentimes, it really is just simple that women don't always know, men don't always know. So the more we can communicate on this, and that's a huge part of the solution that I promised you, is really releasing any shame, releasing any guilt about the fact that your body works differently. That's just how it is. That's how the physiology of the female body works. And then being willing to talk and educate to your partner, especially a male partner, on this around how your body responds, so you begin to just teach them more and more and more. So I hope this is helpful. Again, I'm Dr. Diane, your libido doc. Please do subscribe to this channel. Don't keep me a secret. Share this with your friends. I'll see you in the next one.